The Where Our Minds Wander podcast may contain sensitive content and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Greetings, fellow wanderers, to the places our minds wander.
Where strange lights speed beyond reason across a clear night sky.
The house at the end of the road where disembodied voices whisper and strange noises make the living shiver.
Lurking shadows hiding on the edge of the woods just outside your back door.
Odd, true events throughout time that lead you down the rabbit hole. I'm Wes.
And I'm Beth.
And this is Where Our Minds Wander. Hello and welcome to another bonus episode of Where Our Minds Wander, all you fellow wanderers. I'm Wes, and that's my wife, Beth.
Hello, all you fellow wanderers.
So, Beth, I really had a lot of fun researching our stories for tonight, and I believe our listeners are in for a treat. So, with that said, how about you tell everyone where our minds wandered?
Well, I'm going to tell everyone about the tradition of ghost marriages in China, which was pretty fascinating to me, but then it does take a rather dark turn.
Ooh.
The practice of ghost marriages in China has existed for thousands of years. A ghost marriage, in which two deceased people are ceremoniously wed after their deaths, is deeply rooted in Chinese tradition and religious beliefs.
Wow, that's pretty creepy for sure. But I guess they never have anyone getting cold feet before they're married, right?
Nope.
Oh, wait, perhaps I should say warm feet, because in these cases, their feet are already cold.
Nice. This belief stems from the idea that the living members of a family are responsible for maintaining a deceased loved one's happiness in the afterlife. And in order to be happy, you should have companionship. And in order to have companionship, you should be married. In some areas of China, a man cannot be buried in the family plot if he's a bachelor. And I say cannot instead of could not, because although ghost marriages are illegal in China, they are still being performed in some areas because many Chinese people believe misfortune will be brought upon them if the dead's wishes have not been fulfilled. There is also the fact that people who pass away before marriage don't have children, and therefore there is no one to honor their memory during the annual Qingming Festival or the Tomb Sweeping Festival, where once a year families clear weeds around family members' tombs, adding fresh soil, and they also leave offerings like the deceased's favorite food and drinks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. In addition, in Chinese societal history, siblings had to marry in order of seniority. So if a deceased individual had younger siblings and wasn't married, then none of the younger siblings could get married either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There is the theory that current ghost marriages are a more pleasant offshoot of the practice of zunzang, in which still living wives were sacrificed if their spouse died before them. But not just wives were sacrificed. There is 3,500-year-old skeletal evidence in the Henan province of beheaded enslaved people, too, who were meant to keep the dead happy in the afterlife.
So I guess if you're a woman, you would hope to go before your spouse does.
Absolutely. One of the earliest records of a ghost marriage occurs in the 3rd century text, Records of the Three Kingdoms. In it is the tale of Cao Cheng, who was the son of the infamous warmonger Cao Cao. Cao Cheng died in the year 208 at the age of 13. Because Cao Cheng died so young, his relatives worried that he would have unrest in the afterlife without a companion. So they found a girl who had recently died in a nearby clan. The two were buried together with the hope that they would get along in the afterlife and be good companions for each other. I don't know what you would do if you felt that they didn't get along in the afterlife.
I have no clue.
In a ghost marriage, the groom's family usually offers a dowry of some sort to the dead bride's family, which generally is in the form of paper tributes that represent jewelry, servants, and mansions. The groom's family also generally covers the cost of the ceremony and reburial because Yes, the brides are often exhumed in order to be buried with their new husbands.
Oh, no.
In some cases, an unwed female in China can't be formally buried at all. So for a family whose daughter is chosen, this can be a huge relief. Factors like age and family background are as essential as they are in more traditional weddings, so families hire feng shui masters to work as a matchmaker. The wedding ceremony will typically involve the funeral plaque of the bride and groom and a banquet. The most important part is digging up the bones of the bride and putting them inside the groom's grave.
Shut the front door. No freaking way.
Yep. The practice of ghost marriage varies from mainland China to Taiwan and Hong Kong. In a 1979 Oxford University anthropology paper, it outlines that on the mainland, ghost marriages basically involved relatives burying the bodies together. In other locations, however, the ghost of the dead child was believed to have manifested in some way, effectively badgering the relatives into finding a match. In Taiwan, quote, "It is always the dead girl who initiates the marriage, and she is always married to a living man. The man is free to marry again, or if he is already married, the ghost becomes his retrospective first wife."
That's bizarre.
Well, different cultures have different beliefs, right?
Yes, they do. But it's still bizarre.
No more bizarre than some of the state laws you covered in episode 9 here in the good old USA.
That's true.
In other cases, it is the appearance of a dead loved one in the form of a dream that initiates the process. An exception to this is if one half of an engaged couple passes away, the still living fiancé marries the non-living fiancé. In Hebei province, the children can even arrange afterlife marriages for deceased parents. So, what exactly does a ghost wedding look like? Well, to begin, wealthier families will hire a matchmaker. If both the bride and groom are dead, the corpses are exhumed for the ceremony and often represented by various objects, like a wooden spirit tablet, inscribed with the bride or groom's name, or even present in a closed coffin. One ceremony was described as, both tablets will be carried into a common area, the boys being brought in first, and the tablets are tilted towards each other as if bowing, then tilted towards the ancestral altar. Then the tablets are placed on the altar and worshipped on special days just like all the other ancestral tablets in the room. There are accommodations in place for when a ghost marriage takes place between two people in which one is still living. According to the BBC, quote, "When a family cannot afford a matchmaker and their deceased loved one is female, her family can take matters into their own hands by placing red packets with money and a lock of hair out in the open to lure in a groom. When a man picks up the packets, he must then marry the corpse bride or suffer bad luck. The groom will be allowed to marry a living woman later on, but his corpse bride is always known as the predominant wife." End quote.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Just don't pick up things you find on the street. If a living woman marries a corpse, she is considered widowed as soon as the ceremony is concluded, and she will then live with the groom's family. So again, it's protective in the sense that, the woman has a place, a family to live with and a place to continue on. So as I mentioned earlier, ghost marriages are officially illegal in China, but they do still take place in secret. But there are problems. Specifically, there aren't enough females in some parts of China compared to males. For example, in some areas, large numbers of young males are employed in highly dangerous jobs with high fatality rates, like Shaanxi, where the majority of young men work in the coal mining industry. And so, unfortunately, many people have resorted to grave robbing. In 2011, the Global Times cited Pang Shendi, a ghost wedding broker who helps choose auspicious dates for key occasions and occasionally dabbles in affairs of the dead.
Alrighty.
Quote, "On the black market, a female corpse can fetch 130,000 yuan now," he told a newspaper, adding that a few years ago it was only worth 200.
Inflation.
Peng said that there were around 30 people like him involved in the trade, and that most of the time the deals were sealed at the hospital shortly after the women had died. In 2012, a family sold the body of their deceased daughter for 35,000 yuan. A group of gravediggers dug up the body post-wedding and resold it for 30,000 yuan to another family in need. In 2015 alone, according to the BBC, it was reported that 14 female corpses were stolen in a Shanxi province village.
Hey, did you know? Animals are pretty cool because sea cucumbers eat with their feet.
Lobsters' bladders are in their heads.
Wombat poop is cubed.
Giant sloths never fart.
Nearly 3% of the ice in Antarctic glaciers is penguin pee.
Bats always turn left when leaving a cave.
Cats recognize their own name but choose to ignore you.
And the annual number of worldwide shark bites is 10 times less than the number of people bitten by other people in New York. Who'da thunk it? So, you said you had a lot of fun researching your story tonight, so what are you going to be sharing?
Well, I'm going to tell us about a different kind of ghost marriage.
Okay.
It's women who date ghosts.
Oh. All right.
When dating the living gets to be a little too much of a hassle, there are other options, like these two women who have dated multiple ghosts. Singer-songwriter Brocard, 38, from Oxfordshire, was first visited by the spirit Eduardo, a Victorian soldier who prematurely died at age 35 after falling down a well, during a thunderstorm as she struggled to sleep following a disagreement with her friend. Speaking frequently to the media, Brocard has kept viewers updated on her relationship. To host Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary of ITV's This Morning, Brocard chatted about the first time she thought she had met the spirit. She said, quote, "It was a typical horror movie day. I was home. I had a falling out with one of my friends. I was really upset, and I was trying to fathom what was going on with my friendships, and I felt this burning sensation in my heart. My chest was exploding. It was a physical burning and a deep pain in my chest. It was alarming because initially it was really intense and I was struggling to breathe," end quote.
So it was an anxiety attack.
Not quite. Brocard continued that she was shaking and sweating with tears running down her face. She tried to turn on her bedside lamp and an unseen hand grabbed her arm.
Oh.
When the host O'Leary asked Brocard if she'd seen Eduardo, she responded that she saw a figure pass by, but that's about it. But she often feels his embrace, finds hearts sketched in her shower steam, and discovers ruined notepads around the house.
Okay. Why ruined notepads?
Because for some reason, Eduardo is prone to jealousy.
Oh, well, there you go.
Brocard claims Eduardo even pushes her hand while she's doing her makeup if she's going out on dates with living men. For a year and a half, feelings have gotten more intense. She says that it's as if a breath of air circles her body and hands touch her. She described the relationship as very emotionally driven, as if the spirit was letting her know that she belongs to it. But her next update was a little sad.
Oh.
She claimed Eduardo was ghosting her as punishment for telling the world about their relationship. "I truly feel like I'm being ghosted by a ghost," she said.
Ghosted by a ghost.
Yep. I don't know. She claimed that since going public with their relationship, Eduardo seemed furious with her. She told the Mirror that his presence used to fill her with warmth, but now a physical coldness exists. I don't know what kind of warmth she was being filled with, but we won't go there. Ghost warmth, yes. Brocard said that Eduardo became cold to her immediately after she told the world about their romance. She claimed that the words, "I'm gone," appeared in the steam on the shower door that very evening.
So she wasn't totally ghosted. He sent her a breakup text.
Yes. On a shower door steam. Wow. That's pretty original. She added, quote, "He's costing me a fortune in heating. Even with a fire roaring and the thermostat on full blast, it's like the Antarctic. I've had to resort to sleeping in a ski suit and a bobble hat, and when he touches me, it feels like shards of ice piercing my soul." End quote.
Bobble hat. What's a bobble hat? Is that the one with like the pom-pom on the top?
I think so. I mean, a ski suit and a bobble hat? I don't.
That's some cold air.
She described the unsettling vibe that was now in her house that felt like death. Bricard said, quote, "Maybe I'm just dead to him." Oh my. She added that she could tell that he was very angry because she felt herself being pushed across the room, and she said that she had even been pushed to the floor. She tried communicating with him through candlelight, but, quote, "He no longer flickers the flame, it just blows out." As Halloween approached, Bricard hoped to win back her love. She explained that Halloween is like Valentine's Day for the spirits, so she was going to write a song and perform it to Eduardo on the evening of Halloween. She planned to light 100 candles and scatter rose petals.
Very nice.
That's so romantic.
Very nice.
She also had plans to cook food for her ghost lover. However, she feared it would pass straight through him. What the hell? Oh. Bricard insisted that no man should control a woman's feelings, so she was hoping to get through to him. At first, Bricard thought he might be trapped between two worlds and just wanted to get a message out to this world, but she decided that Eduardo prefers secrecy and privacy and wants her all to himself.
That would explain why he messes up her makeup when she's going to go out.
That's right, he's a jealous ghost. The Halloween wooing must have worked because by the next update, they got engaged.
Wow!
Eduardo proposed to Bricard in November 2021 when she found a diamond ring on her pillow after the pair had a fight. She recalled in yet another interview that she woke up with a strange pain in her cheek that felt like a bee sting. When she looked, she found a ring on her pillow. Thinking she was dreaming, she fell back asleep. When she woke up again, the ring was gone.
Oh.
But when she went to take a shower, a question mark appeared in the steam.
Why didn't he just write it down on the notepads?
He prefers to write in steam in the shower.
Sorry, it just came to me all of a sudden.
Believing she was still half asleep, she dismissed it. By the next morning, she awoke again to the ring on her pillow and more question marks in her shower steam. And that's when she realized Eduardo was proposing.
Oh, it is kind of romantic.
Well, I guess he can't get down on one knee.
Why not?
He'd go through the floor?
Maybe if he can't hold food. I don't know.
It passed through him. I don't know. But like many engaged couples, Bricard and Eduardo can't agree on a wedding date. She said in an interview that she wants a summer wedding, but he hates the heat. The argument went on for weeks. So Bricard said she planned to design a special Ouija board for wedding dates to see if they can agree.
Oh, good idea.
Bricard said, quote, "I swear he's turned into a complete groomzilla, and his list of demands grow daily." End quote. That's not the only issue. A venue has been hard to secure. The couple have been shunned from numerous churches because the institutions see the relationship as blasphemous.
I would think.
Bricard said that a few churches actually kicked them out and have threatened them with exorcism.
Jeez.
Plus, Eduardo doesn't exactly feel very comfortable inside churches. Yep. Bricard has designed her own Victorian-style wedding dress, and Eduardo has apparently insisted that he wants her to make him a 3-piece Victorian suit.
How does that work?
I think she's struggling with that because she said that she'd prefer it if he surprised her with one of his own morning suits.
But I thought she said she can't see him, so How does that work?
I have no clue. How does any of this work?
I don't know.
Choosing who to invite to the wedding is also a problem because most of Eduardo's friends are no longer alive.
Oh, well, yeah, if he was a Victorian soldier, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even worse, his best man is stuck in hell. Oh my. Eduardo desperately wants one of his fellow soldiers to be his best man, but apparently he went to hell in 1875 for running an opium den.
Jeez.
He hasn't been reachable since.
There's no long-distance plan for that one.
Can you hear me now? I mean, I don't know. They are planning to invite a number of their deceased celebrities, though. Bricard says they're going to invite their favorite historical characters, such as Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, King Henry VIII, and Johnny Cash. That's a pretty good lineup.
But if they can't invite his friends because they're dead, how are they going to invite dead celebrities? I'm so confused. What kind of postage do you put on those invites? Airmail? I don't know.
Ghost mail? I don't. Brocard said, quote, William Shakespeare would be warmly welcomed, particularly if he's reading a sonnet, as long as he doesn't reenact Hamlet. On my special day, I don't have 4 hours to spare for someone else's drama. Wow. She went on to say, quote, there are so many obstacles to cartwheel over when marrying a dead man.
I bet there are.
As a special treat, Bricard has written a song for the big day, out of her devotion for her beloved Eduardo.
Aw.
Another British woman who claimed she has slept with at least 20 ghosts was engaged to a poltergeist also.
Oh.
In December 2018, spiritual counselor Amethyst Realm also told the British TV show ITV This Morning that she cheated on her fiancé with a ghost and has since gone on to have supernatural affairs with at least 20 paranormal beings before finding true love with a poltergeist.
Well, it takes a lot of frogs till you find your prince.
Yeah, and at least she's getting some. Brocard got nothing.
Except
Steamy messages in a shower.
And astronomical heating bills.
Realm said the ghost asked her to get married during a trip to celebrate their 9-month relationship at England's Wookey Hole Caves, according to The Sun. She said, quote, there was no going down on one knee. He doesn't have knees, end quote.
That's why Eduardo couldn't go down on one knee. You were right, sort of.
I guess ghosts don't go down.
Oh my, just
Oh. But Realm said she heard him speak for the first time during the proposal. The then 30-year-old said she'd met her new kindred spirit, who doesn't have a name, during a work trip to Australia in February.
Oh.
Realm said, quote, I not had a phantom fling for a while, and I was away on business. Starting a new relationship was the last thing on my mind. Then one day, while I was walking through the bush, enjoying nature, I suddenly felt this incredible energy. A new lover had arrived, end quote.
Huh.
He joined her on the flight back to Bristol.
Wait. Did she have to buy 2 seats?
I don't know, but she said, I was happy and excited. So excited that we had to do something about it. So we headed to the Plain Loo, and well, I am now a member of the Mile High Club.
Ew. Ew. I bet that got some strange looks when she came out of the bathroom.
I bet those noises were just all one-sided, though.
But if he doesn't have knees, I don't get it. If you don't have knees, how do you have anything else that can make any sort of physical contact? I don't get it.
She said that sometimes she felt as if she was being moved and that intimate relationships were far better with her new spirit lover than she had had with any living man.
Wow, that's an endorsement. Talk about a huge ego hit to the living men she's dated.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to date her after that. Realm and the ghost got engaged on their 9-month anniversary. Realm said her friends and family embraced her unusual engagement, but they hadn't hammered out all the details yet. In 2022, Realm updated the world on her relationship status. She and the ghost, who she now called Ray, have broken up.
Oh.
Yeah, because apparently the would-be groom had changed. Realm said on UK TV show This Morning that his personality change seemingly occurred while the couple were on vacation in Thailand. Realm said, quote, I think maybe he fell in with a bad crowd when we were on holiday. He just started becoming really inconsiderate. He disappeared for long periods of time. When he did come back, he'd bring other spirits to house and they'd just stay around for days, end quote.
Yeah, that's a bummer when your fiance keeps bringing home uninvited guests that just won't leave.
Well, at least he wasn't inviting him into the bedroom,
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they're into that. No judgment here.
I don't think so if she broke up with him for it. If they're not engaged anymore.
Well, maybe she'd do anything to keep him around.
I don't know.
Although the pair had planned to get married and have a baby.
I can hear Maury going, Ray, you are not the father.
Realm added to the breakup details by saying she suspected Ray was drinking and doing drugs.
How does a ghost do drugs? I have so many questions.
We all do. When asked how a ghost could be doing drugs or partying, Realm replied that he would seemingly disappear and then come back. Plus the whole bringing other ghosts back to their place.
Oh, okay. Not sure A leads to B, but all right.
Yeah, I don't see that, but hey. This freaked her out since one kept following her around and another left a constant bad smell. And stuff was being moved around.
Were you just going over there and visiting and I didn't know it?
You've got me. That's where I've been. She tried talking to Ray and gave him chance after chance, but Realm apparently had enough. She performed a sage cleansing, and that was that.
Oh, good.
Ray and Realm had planned to wed at Wookey Hole Caves in Somerset. Apparently, both families were heartbroken at the news of the uncoupling. Both families, as in hers and Ray's. Let that sink in. His ghost family.
Well, I don't know if his family is alive or not, but still, how do you introduce her to people? Well, this is the woman who's dating our dead son.
I think that would be appropriate, yes.
I don't get it.
Upon further reflection, Realm wondered if the stress of the pandemic was at the root of Ray's changed behavior, since, according to her, ghosts also had to socially distance from each other, so they didn't get sick. She said that ghosts can get ill just like the living.
What? Do they wear masks too?
Wow.
The ghosts had to socially distance because of the pandemic.
Although she is now single, Realm says she isn't quite ready to date anyone new, living or non-living. She's happy to be single and her experience hasn't put her off spirits. She says she's open to the idea of spirit dating again.
I don't know what to say.
I don't even think she has a choice to this whole dating
at this point,
spirit thing.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, they can just pop in and out whenever they want. So, I've been out of the dating scene for a little while now. So, are there places on the internet where you can hook up with ghosts or date ghosts?
I don't know. You mean like farmersonly.com, but for the ephemeral phantasmic phantom set?
Yeah, I guess something like that. Yeah. Is there like a Tinder where you can just hook up with them?
Swipe left, swipe right. Ooh, he has knees. Swipe the other right.
Oh my. Look at the bone on that one. Oh my. I would guess that sexting with a ghost has to be pretty interesting.
Be a very one-sided conversation, I would think.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up for another bonus episode of Where Our Minds Wander.
Yep, we'll see all you wanderers next week.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thank you for joining us. We look forward to traveling with you again to the places where our minds wander.
If you like what you heard, please take a moment and provide us with a 5-star rating and a comment. It really helps us move up the list so people can find us. See you next week for an all-new episode of Where Our Minds Wander.